Just a minute! Don't hang up! Yellow. You'll have to speak up, I'm wearing a towel.
Hi people, and hello my Chili Con Carnage crew, it's Chili here, the man of designed for my eyes, doing a 5-minute review on Seether's newest album. The surface seems so far. What the f*** is wrong with the volume levels on this album? I'd moved to rename this album, the music seems so far away, because something is just extremely flawed with the mix of this record. Yeah, we have barely started with this review, but I wanted to discuss the elephant in the room first before the music, and that is of course the production levels of this record. I have no idea what went wrong on there, because if you are listening to the singles of this album, it's actually decent. You can hear it for one. Hopefully the original files have been uploaded incorrectly, and this is rectified ASAP, because if not, a remaster is required for this album right now, not in 10 years time. I genuinely thought I blew my car's speakers at the start of this record, because there was nothing coming out of them. It feels like it's the protest to the loudness war embarked by Rick Rubin some decade ago, but who would have thought that Seether would be so wary of age-related hearing loss, or at least alluding to it. Anyway, let's discuss the music, and yes, I will have to edit them a little bit so that you can hear them. When you blast through the first 3 songs, you get a feeling for just who the band are. If you are unfamiliar with them, then don't be shocked when I say that then there is a little room for variation on here, but the fans will love that about this record too, I guess. Judas Mind seems like the perfect intro for the album that will set the mood for their subsequent tour, and I can't deny it would sound awesome from the pit. The same could be said, of course, by that big meaty downtuned riff heard at the beginning of Illusion, which hits like a steamroller, flattening all after. I guess by the time we get through the first half of the album, I could say that it felt like we were wandering through a desert, and it starts to all feel the same and just look the same too. Loud riffs here, verse, chorus, refrain there, and of course a shouted section. There's of course the bigger than life drum sounds, and of course a bass line that barely stands out from the band. Actually, that's probably for the best. It does its job, but damn does it feel so bare bones and basic. I saw a review at Rachel Music describing this album as having some decent tunes but feeling like a slog to get through, and despite having a 47-minute runtime, it does feel like this at times. It does have its moments, but it does come across as plain or generic to outsiders who might even perceive this noise as butt rock. However, I think to fans, and of course the most important audience that is, this album follows suit to their previous efforts without rocking the boat too much. It doesn't push the envelope. It's not innovative nor experimental. It is what it is. Big, loud riffs with angry, shouty vocals. It's for the fans, and the band have made their style known for years, so why change now? The only drawback that I see is that I am no longer an angsty 16-year-old like I was when I first heard this band. So while I'm not against this music style, I don't feel as strongly as I once did for it. It's like I've moved on, and I'm witnessing a moment of my youth frozen in time again. It's weird, because while I am not angry with this album, I didn't find it memorable either. I played it a few times, but nothing stood out, and the music just started to blend into a massive amalgamation of noise over time, to the point that I genuinely had to stop listening to this record. It's just kind of forgettable and disappointing, and I guess that's the worst kind of fate an album can have, because it will undoubtedly begin to fade from my mind after this review airs on YouTube. Now, I wasn't the biggest fan of the band back in the day, and perhaps this will also bleed through on my score, but I did love Disclaimer 2, so there is still some nostalgia for this group. In fact, I had to go back to that album, which is enjoying its 20th anniversary earlier this year for a reference, and just to see how far they have come. The answer is not very far. Overall, I would give this album a score of 4.5 million chilies on the spicy scale, with the first 3 songs being the best songs they have to offer. It's a sad affair to have an album of your music become as memorable as what you had for dinner last week, but when you play it safe, you run this risk. This album isn't quite noteworthy to end up on my worst albums of the year list. As I've said before, it's got some decent tunes, but it's not far off from that either. Perhaps if the production didn't sound so badly compressed, the score would rise by another million, but as it stands, this is it. If you've enjoyed this content, make sure to smash that like button, subscribe to us, and stay notified for future music related content, because it keeps our manager happy at the end of the day. We are also on Discord, Instagram, Facebook, and all those other social platforms if you want to check us out. As always, people, you have a great day and stay spicy.